In my hands today are the Redmi Buds 3 and the Redmi Buds 3 Pro. Now these are inherently very different devices made for different people and priced very differently. So this isn't going to be a comparison in the most traditional sense. Think of it as a buying guide. These are two of the best affordable earbuds that I've used this year, and I want to tell you all about it. So which one is for you? Let's find out.
Before we get started, here's a quick word about Good Deals by KLGG, our official e-store. You can buy all sorts of awesome gadgets here at great prices, and you can even get 10 ringgit off on your first purchase with a minimum spend of 100 ringgit. You can also pay via 3-month 0% installments using IOU Pay or Atom. Visit the link in the description box below to start shopping.
Now before we get started, I want to talk about its prices. The Redmi Buds 3 costs 139 ringgit, while the Redmi Buds 3 Pro costs 239 ringgit, so it's a 100 ringgit difference. I want you to remember this because the prices provide the context for this entire video. I want you to remember that these are two of the best earbuds that you can get in its respective price ranges this year.
Moving on to design, the Redmi Buds 3 looks a lot like the Apple AirPods, glossy white with a long stem and no silicone ear tips. The Buds 3 Pro on the other hand actually comes with swappable ear tips and it comes in a more compact design. Like I mentioned, however, in my review of the Buds 3 Pro, I'm not a big fan of the color. It reminds me of old PCs and their CRT monitors, but thankfully this also comes in black. In terms of how they fit, the Buds 3 doesn't quite do it for me because I find myself having to readjust it very often. It stays well enough in the ears when I'm idle, but when I move around, it's when it starts to feel like it's dropping out. The Buds 3 Pro on the other hand, with its swappable ear tips, stay in my ears much better. I have the default tips on and they work just fine even while I'm walking around. But you know, the fit of an earbud can differ from person to person, so both may work great for you. In terms of sound quality, they both offer great audio, they can go very loud without crackling, and they offer crisp and clear audio, which is fantastic for earbuds that cost this little. Where they start to differ is in the soundstage. The Buds 3 Pro give you quite a bit more in this department as you'll be able to hear individual instruments more clearly and there's well-defined depth. With its V-shaped sound signature, I think music genres like pop and a little bit of EDM sound great. But again, for 239 ringgit, I am absolutely impressed. The regular Buds 3 doesn't fare too badly either. It gives a more forward and bright audio presentation that, although is common of earbuds of this price, when combined with clarity and sharpness, put the Buds 3 on a level above its competitors.
Now moving on to ANC, the Redmi Buds 3 does well to suppress, and I emphasize suppress because it doesn't actually have active noise cancellation. It does well to suppress distant voices, distant chatter, and regular office sounds like the humming of your laptops and PCs. The Redmi Buds 3 Pro actually comes with ANC and actually does well at blocking out medium to sort of distant chatter and voices, typing, passing vehicles, and of course humming of your devices in the office. However, the level ANC on this Redmi Buds 3 Pro doesn't do quite well at blocking out loud voices, and for that you'll just have to bump up the volume of your audio. But while we're here, I also want to talk about the Redmi Buds 3 Pro's hear-through mode. It will let you have conversations with anyone who's talking near you without sacrificing the quality of the music that you're listening to. So now we're going to test out the call quality of each earbuds. The audio that you're hearing right now is from the regular Redmi Buds 3, and as you can probably tell, the quality is decent. It's not as clear as I would have liked, but again, at this price tag, you really can't complain. Do note, however, I am calling a colleague of mine using WhatsApp. Next, let's move on to the Redmi Buds 3 Pro. As you can probably tell, the audio quality is fairly similar to the regular Buds 3. Again, I would want it to be clearer than it currently is now, but again, for 239 ringgit, really can't complain. You still get to hear me nice and clearly.
When it comes to battery life, the Buds 3 Pro gets me about 5 hours of use at 50% volume. The regular Buds 3 on the other hand gets me about 4-ish hours, so they're pretty neck and neck. What sets them apart is the fast charging feature that you get on the Pro model. Redmi claims that you get up to 3 hours of listening time with just a 10-minute charge, while the regular Buds 3 gets you 1.5 hours of listening time with the same amount of charge time. The Pro model also supports wireless charging. When it comes to latency and features, both support Bluetooth 5.2 connectivity, and they're pretty much the same. I find that videos and movies have an acceptable amount of delay, it's not disorienting, but for gaming however, I prefer zero latency and neither devices are made for that. I also want to point out that the Buds 3 Pro supports dual device connectivity, which essentially lets you pair the earbuds with up to 2 devices at the same time.
Now with all that said, I personally think that these are some of the best earbuds in their respective price ranges this year, and you'll be hard-pressed to find anything that is better. The Redmi Buds 3 offer you a pretty decent pair of semi-in-ear earbuds experience with really bright forward audio. It's also crisp and loud, decent latency and decent battery life. All that for just 139 ringgit, mind you. The Redmi Buds 3 Pro, however, for 100 ringgit more offers you a lot more as well. You get impressive ANC, hear-through mode, swappable ear tips for people who may have trouble fitting earbuds in their ears like me, and you also get impressive battery life and fantastic build quality. And I suppose the best way to round up what I'm actually trying to say about these earbuds is that they are very well-rounded devices that offer you plenty of features for a very low price. It's very difficult to go wrong by choosing either one of these devices. So let us know down in the comment section below which would you prefer. I personally would just spend the extra 100 ringgit for the Redmi Buds 3 Pro. Well, this is Victor signing off. Until next time, bye-bye.